In this servicing tutorial, we will go over how to replace the power converter, or what we like to call the AC link. It is impossible to spin a unit without this power converter, so we designed it to be a very quick repair. You do not need to unmount the motor or touch anything on the driven equipment. Since this process requires many tools, we will go over what you need before getting started. Always disengage power before any repair work ensues and follow all local codes, regulations, and standards relevant to electric machine repair. Replacing the power converter is not difficult, but it does require a good amount of different tools. These are tools that you should collect before getting started to make the operation more efficient. The size of tools needed will also depend on what frame size you are currently working with. Pause the video and go collect these tools before getting started. To begin, we must remove the terminal box power cover and debris cover to expose the high voltage circuitry. So please ensure that you follow all electrical safety requirements and disengage power to the unit. Inside of this terminal box are some cable connections we must undo, so use a Phillips screwdriver or an 8mm socket head to remove 10 M5 screws securing the power cover. Smaller units such as 20 horsepower will have 9. These 10 screws are shown here. Once complete, remove the plastic debris cover resting inside of the terminal box. Now with the power cover off, locate 6 cables of interest. The cables you will disconnect are R, S, and T going from the inductor to the power converter, and U, V, and W coming from the power converter to the motor terminal block. Use the deep socket needed for your frame size for the R, S, and T leads and either a Phillips screwdriver or deep socket for the U, V, and W leads. With those 6 cables disconnected, you now must disconnect the larger wire harness by pinching the ends of the connector and pulling backwards. This wire harness is attached to the adjacent circuit board that is elevated and closest to the power converter. It's important to ensure this harness with more connector pins is unhooked from the somewhat hidden hook underneath that circuit board. In the video, the smaller detection harness nearby is removed, but you can leave that inserted in the elevated circuit board. You do not have to remove the 2 temperature sensors inserted into the smaller 4 connection terminal block on that elevated board. Since our 6 cables and 1 harness are disconnected, we can now remove the free end cooling fan and its cover or cowling. To remove the cowling, you must remove 4 hex head bolts holding the cowling to the motor body. The size of these hex head bolts varies by frame size, but they will be either M6, M8, or M10. Use a ratchet wrench or socket wrench to remove the 4 cowling bolts, then pull the cowling off and set it aside. You will now see the free end cooling fan held in place by a snap ring. Use your snap ring pliers to stretch the ring open, pull it off, and set it aside. Now you should be able to just slide the fan off of the shaft. The last step of the removal process is to pull the power converter off of the motor shaft. The converter can weigh anywhere from 25 to 45 pounds, so ensure you are capable of safely handling this amount of weight first. There are 4 socket head screws holding the converter to the motor frame, and we recommend using a socket wrench with a hex or Allen key to remove them. If your frame size starts with a 2, use an 8mm hex key. If your frame size starts with a 3, use a 10mm hex key. Proceed to unscrew the 4 bolts. The threads are fine, so keep pressure on the power converter if it becomes difficult to unscrew. You may also unscrew by hand after the socket head bolts have been loosened a bit. Once all 4 bolts are removed, pull the converter backwards by about 2 inches, then push it forward again. This will expose the V-ring. Go ahead and pull that V-ring off of the shaft. Finally, start to pull the power converter backwards from its initial position in intervals of about 2 inches. After each 2-inch pull, check to make sure your 7 disconnected cables are not caught on anything inside of the terminal box opening. This ensures no damage will be done to any of the 6 wires or harness. Once you can confirm all wires are free from obstructions, pull the power converter off and set it aside. You are now ready to grab your new power converter for reassembly. To get started putting it all back together, we first must reapply contact lubricant paste to the mating joints between the motor shell and the power converter. We recommend Moly Coat HSC Plus paste on a clean surface, so use a clean rag to wipe off any existing paste. Grab a paintbrush and apply a layer of this paste to the 4 mating points on the motor shell. These areas should be obvious as they will be a darker gray color relative to the light gray motor shell. Now you may grab your new power converter and slide it onto the end of the shaft. In one hand, take all 7 disconnected leads and route them into the terminal box opening. With your other hand, slowly push the converter back on in intervals of about 2 inches. After each interval, make sure the disconnected wires are free to move inside of the terminal box and are not obstructed. There should be no bends in any of the wires as you push the converter forwards. Repeat this process until the mating faces of the converter are adjacent to the motor shell. Now peer into the top of the terminal box and find your 6 disconnected cables and disconnected harness. Beginning with the UVW wires, place each ring above the empty hole in the terminal block where the wire label matches the block label. Use a Phillips screwdriver, socket wrench, or socket driver to screw the UV and W leads into their terminal block position. Now for the RST leads. The R lead will be closest to the terminal block, the S lead will be in the middle, and the T lead will be furthest from the terminal block. Place each of these ringed connectors over the available bolt tail end on the inductor in their proper positions. Then use your socket driver or socket wrench to reattach the 3 hex bolts over the R, S, and T ring connectors. Once these 6 leads are secured, use a torque wrench to verify the torque value of each of these 6 fasteners using the provided figures. Finally, find the disconnected harness which will go into the elevated small circuit board closer to the power converter. Pinch the sides of the male connector and push into the female connector on the circuit board until you hear a click. Once all 7 connections have been made and the torque values of each fastener have been checked, you are done with this step. Each power converter or AC link spare part provided by us will contain a new V-ring. We advise to always use this new V-ring instead of reusing the old one to maximize its sealing properties. You may slide the new V-ring onto the shaft, but make sure the flat side of the ring is facing outwards as shown here. Push this ring all the way into the bore of the converter and press the edges to maximize sealing contact. There are 4 socket head screws holding the converter to the motor frame, and we recommend using a socket wrench with a hex or Allen key to fasten them. If your frame size starts with a 2, use an 8mm hex key. If your frame size starts with a 3, use a 10mm hex key. Place 1 socket head bolt into a mating point. Tighten slightly, then move on to the next unfastened mating point. Keep repeating this process until the power converter is tightly secured against the motor. Then bring a torque wrench out and verify each of the 4 bolts are torqued down to the shown specification. With the power converter and cable connection secure, you can now reinstall the free end cooling fan and its cover or cowling. For this step, you will need a socket wrench and snap ring pliers. Grab the free end cooling fan and match its key inside of its bore with the keyway on the non-drive end shaft. You want to orient the fan such that the flat, larger diameter ring is facing outwards or away from the motor. Push the fan all the way onto the non-drive end shaft. Now grab the snap ring and snap ring pliers. Use the snap ring pliers to pry open the snap ring and place it around the non-drive end shaft as close to the fan as possible. You will know it is secure when the ring makes a clicking noise as it clamps onto the groove near the fan's axial resting position. Now that the fan is secure, grab the fan cowling, the 4 hex head bolts, and their associated washers. With the flat side of the cowling adjacent to the mounting floor, push the cowling until the 4 holes line up with the 4 cowling holes on the motor. On one side of the motor, add a washer to a bolt and hand tighten the bolt into the bottom threaded mating hole until the bolt stays there on its own. Then do the same on the other side of the motor. Then do the same to the top holes on both sides of the motor. The reason for this is to have some wiggle room in case your mating surfaces don't line up perfectly. Once all 4 bolts are secure enough to not fall out on their own, grab your socket or ratchet wrench in either a 10, 13, or 17mm head depending on your frame size. Torque each of these 4 bolts to the values shown here. With your fan cowling, power converter, V-ring, 6 leads, and 1 harness all reinstalled, you may now put the terminal box power cover back on. First, place the debris cover back inside by lodging the longer edges into the slots on the sides of the terminal box interior. Then grab the power cover and place it on top of the terminal box with the hazard warning triangle tips pointed to the drive end shaft. Use either a Phillips screwdriver or 8mm socket to drive all 9 or 10 M5 bolts into the terminal box frame. Each screw should be torqued down to 26 inch-pounds or 2.9 Newton-meters. Once all 9 or 10 are torqued down, you have successfully replaced an AC link and are ready for operation. There is no need to reprogram the unit as all parameters are saved locally in the ACB. We hope this video has helped guide you in replacing our power converter. As always, visit or contact us at our website for help, manuals, specifications, and more. Thanks for watching and have a great day.